topping my own show live on Channel 5. The last Channel 5 show they pulled in 1 million views, so that's a fair old audience. So hopefully I can pull in the same amount of views, if not a bit more. We're both well known in the boxing world. It's a good fight. Both of us have got big KO ratios, heavyweights as well. So I'd imagine it'll draw the public's attention. Unbelievable. I'm feeling healthy, happy, which is the main thing. I'm just looking forward to Friday night, to be fair, Dom.
Yeah, you're looking very, very fresh and very fit. Again, that's clearly you've been putting the work in, putting the graft in. I know you've not been as active as you wanted to be the last couple of years, but it's about, you're still a baby in heavyweight terms anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm 25 years. I know I don't look it. I'm 25 years old, so it's 10 years plus of boxing left in me. Been inactive, obviously, 15 months. Not the best thing in the world because, nothing beat. You can spar and train as much as you want, but nothing gets you fit and, gets your iron quite like fighting. Hence the saying, fighting fit. So, but we're here now, aren't we? It's 48 hours away, so I'm really looking forward to it, to be fair.
And Salak is a good name. We saw him. He came over. He went in with Cash Ali. You know what you're going to get with him, though? He's going to give it plenty, isn't it? And again, as you say, he's got a good KO ratio. He's come back from that. He's got a couple of wins on his record since. Yeah, so it's a chance for him, isn't it? It's a massive opportunity for him as well as you.
Most definitely, mate. I could have put a much easier opponent, but the thing is with him, he's young, he's ambitious. Like you said, he comes for a go. He throws big punches, and if looking at it from his perspective, if he beats me, he's going to be IBF international champion, top 15 in the world. There's a big fight around the corner for the winner, isn't there? So it's all on the line for it, all on the line for me and him. He's coming off 2 good wins. He's been very active. I've been inactive, so there's plus and minuses to this. So it's a good fight for me, especially with a layoff what I've had. I'm more than confident for Friday night.
The thing is, as well, with a belt like this IBF international belt, there's a lot of jostling going underneath the kind of the big boys, if you like, the ones that have got the belts. Obviously, Anthony Joshua and Usyk are going up against each other. We know about your cousin Tyson and, Willie, won't he? That's another question. But in terms of, lads like yourself, we've just seen Daniel Dubois do the business, of course, in the States. He's got a belt now. Yeah. It's important to get this currency, isn't it? Because you need to have these belts just to give yourself a jostling kind of position.
Exactly, mate. You've hit the nail on the head there. Like you said, the big boys at the minute are all tied up with he's fighting him, and obviously the big man, the main man himself, is he retiring? Is he not retiring? So Daniel Dubois just won a version of the WBA world title in America last week, and obviously I'm fighting for the international IBF title. It puts me in a good world ranking in the IBF. So, if we can keep all the belts, getting all the mandatory position, and we can have like big domestic dust ups. That's what we want, ideally, don't we? Everyone loves a good domestic rivalry. I'm all for that. So hopefully just get the win and keep progressing.
Just about Daniel, because of course you had that fight a couple of years ago, back in 2019. It wasn't your night, it was his. He's since had a blow as well with the Joe Joyce fight. He's come back well. You can do the same, can't you? Just come back well. That down the line is another cracking night we can look forward to.
100%. I'd more than welcome another dance again with Daniel Dubois. I'd imagine he would as well. A loss doesn't define you. If that was the case, Derek Chisora would have retired many, many years ago, but he's still pulling the big crowd in, isn't he? He had 10, 12 losses, but if Derek Chisora fights, you are going to tune in and watch him. So a loss doesn't define you. It's how you come back and what type of fight you get back into next, plus your age. Daniel's 23, 24, isn't he? I'm 25. So we're not exactly killed with age. If it was 36, 37, knocking on the door 40, then you'd say, well, it's about time. You're on father time then, aren't you, really? So, but we're still young and we've got a lot of learning to do.
And it is bubbling up so nicely in terms of domestically, the UK is where it's at. That's pretty obvious. And again, particularly if Joshua comes through his fight as well, and it's all wrapped up, isn't it? So again, you look at this fight. I'm not going to ask you about who you want next or any of that. That's silly. You've got to deal with Thomas at the weekend and all the rest of it. But just how good is it to be a heavyweight, a UK heavyweight at the minute?
It's probably the best it's ever been. If you go back 10, 15 years ago, the heavyweight division went very stagnant for a while, didn't it? With obviously Klitschko doing all his mandatory defenses where he's bobbing everyone out and around. No one was giving them any challenges. If you just look, never mind world level, just domestically on its own, look at the fighters you got in this country. What can happen domestically is unbelievable. You got the likes of Joe Joyce, Dwyer, me, Dillian White, Fabio Wardley, Chisora. Then obviously you got Joshua, you got the main man himself, Tyson Fury. So that's just in Britain alone. So then you got international. There's a million and one names there again. So it's probably the best time for a heavyweight it's ever been.
Yeah. So just talk us through then psychologically, how are you going to set yourself up for this? You're about to make your ring walk. It's Friday night, big crowd, live on terrestrial telly, a Wasserman show and all the rest of it. I mean, it's brilliant at this stage of your career to be doing this. I mean, how are you going to deal with that? Because it's the first time you would have headlined in this nature of this kind of show.
Most definitely. It's the first time boxing in front of a crowd in 3 years since I boxed Daniel the Bar. Obviously, I've been used to boxing with COVID restrictions, boxing behind closed doors where it's just me, the opponent, and the ref. So it's going to be fantastic to get back out there in front of the crowd. I just got to take it in my stride. I'm a quite a cool character anyway. You know, nothing really gets on top of me. So I think get to the venue, take it all in. You know, get my gloves, get laced up, ready to roll. Then really, it's game on. I've been preparing a long time for this, so I think it's my time now to shine. Hopefully, come Friday.
Well, we know all about the skills and basically what you bring as a heavyweight. There's no doubt about that. But just finally, before you go, because we've touched upon it, Tyson, he can't retire, surely, can he? Your cousin. I mean, he's got everyone's attention. You know, again, he's teased everyone this week, and then he said, "No, I definitely am retired. Maybe exhibitions." I just can't see it. I mean, again, if Josh comes through, surely he's going to absolutely want that. If Usyk's got all the belts that he wants, you know, I don't know. What do you think?
Like you said, if Joshua comes through and wins the belts, Tyson being Tyson, you don't know. The thing is with him, he could wake up tomorrow and say he's retired, and the next day he's coming back. So you just don't know. As long as he's happy and healthy, I suppose that's the main thing. But you know, money speaks languages. It's the biggest fight probably in boxing history, isn't it? Him and Joshua, for Britain and for boxing itself. You know, the undisputed, unified heavyweight world titles, and both Brits. So it doesn't get any bigger than that. I think the last biggest fight from that was probably Mayweather Pacquiao, and that probably could surpass that. It's that big. Unbelievable, fantastic fight. Probably one what comes around every 50, 60 years. But like again, it's the Tyson show, isn't it? So it's entirely up to him. If he's retired and he's happy and content, good luck to him. What a career he's had. You know, outside of the ring, you know what he's got over with the the drugs, the alcohol issues, the mental health issues, gaining all that weight, 30 stone, coming back then to dethrone Deontay Wilder. You couldn't write it if you wanted to. So it's an unbelievable story, and to go out on a high in front of 94,000 defending your belt in your own back garden type of thing in Wembley doesn't get any better. But me as a fan, I don't want him to retire. I want him to come back out and beat Usyk or Joshua.
Well, we wait and see. We'll watch that space. But it's all about you on Friday anyway. So you enjoy the night, do the business, and we look forward to seeing you out there very soon as well, Nathan. That's the trick in it. We want to see you as many times as we can.
Hopefully, mate, get this one out of the way, and then another 6-8 weeks back out again, ideally. But first and foremost, get Friday out of the way first.